Gonna need a couple of those cold fraps on a day like today. This summer, all right, one of the world's most celebrated art movements has arrived in Toronto. We're gonna head over to the Art Gallery of Ontario where Stella is exploring the new exhibit. It's called The Impressionist Revolution, Monet to Matisse, featuring masterpieces by Monet, of course, and other legendary artists. Stella, good morning. How's it going over there?
Good morning. It is so nice over here. I know that you're an art student and you would definitely appreciate what we're seeing today. Monet, I mean, like, can you get any better than that? We hear about Monet, we've learned about it when we were growing up in school, and now it's here. Yeah, right? Monet, Monet, Monet. Or Monet, Monet, Monet. Monet, 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 Monet. Yeah, and you can see it here at the AGO. The AGO has this exhibit until October. And here to tell us about it is Caroline. Caroline, you're a curator here. Let's just talk. Let's first talk about the revolution and like the revolution of this art and why it was so important.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're here in this exhibition, The Impressionist Revolution, Monet to Matisse from the Dallas Museum of Art. These artists, the exhibition brings together artists who are really rebellious. We love the Impressionists. They feel so familiar to us. This is Monet, Renoir, Degas. Their names and their paintings are beloved to us, yet they were really radical artists during their time. They were radical because of what they painted and how they painted, and even how they marketed their artwork to the public. And so
why was it so different?
Yeah.
Why was Impressionism art so different?
So for example, the way that they painted was very new. They painted with these bright color palettes and loose brush strokes and unusual angles of like a close crop like we might do with our photography, or a strange angle like in this water lily pond where he's right by the surface and just looking at the edge of the pond. That's so unusual that he is showing us almost a painting that looks upside down. And it's in his time, people thought that it was hung upside down because the clouds are on the bottom.
What inspired him in this painting?
His very own pond at his home in Giverny was his inspiration. He considered his garden and his pond, what he called his water garden, his greatest work of art. It was something he cultivated himself. He had his hands in the soil working this garden. He ordered these water lilies from around the world. He was almost kind of curating or creating his very own garden as his source for inspiration in his painting.
Okay, and for you as a curator, when you're looking at pieces like this, what speaks to you?
I really love in Monet's water lilies especially, which it's, I mean, just to say, this is incredibly special. We have not one but two water lily canvases here at the AGO. There's no Monet water lily paintings in any Canadian museum collection, so this is a rare opportunity to see these.
That's why you gotta come down.
Exactly, you gotta be here to see them. One of the things I love to look at is the surface of the canvas and how he was really doing kind of competition with light and nature. To think of the challenge of painting the surface, a reflective surface of water, showing the clouds, the water lilies, the trees above, and then also sometimes what's going on below the surface of the water. It's kind of translucent. That's really hard to capture in oil paint on canvas.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We're going to go meet John right now because we're talking about the inspiration of this piece. And this is actually it. This is the garden itself. How you doing,
Hi,
John?
Stella. So
How
nice
are
to see
you?
Thanks for coming here.
Yeah, I like that you're wearing a nice bright color, kind of like a Monet style color,
it's
right?
the same color as Monet's dining room.
I should have worn the same matching pants. I have them at home, that color. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about this garden because you've actually been there before.
I've been here. It's like number one on my bucket list to see Monet's dining room, to see his garden, and to see his house.
Wow.
So
when did you go visit?
A couple of years ago. It was really a thrilling experience. So welcome to Monet's garden. And I went to I wanted to see his dining room. I wrote a book called The Dining Room. So I'm obsessed with dining rooms. Wow. So I went to see Monet's dining room. Not only was it a beautiful, yellow, uplifting, sun-filled dining room, but I found out that he also loved to eat.
Well, who doesn't? Who doesn't? I love to eat too.
You love to eat. That's right.
So that's what we're going to be doing a little later on in the next segment. So you're going to want to stick around for that. But speaking about that, you know, we have 1 minute left. Quickly, You know, you're talking about this obsession with Monet, that you absolutely love his stuff. Why do you love him so much?
Oh, because he's just so into color and light. And for instance, his yellow dining room, it's a reflection of his interest in color. And that's why I have this yellow jacket, is because yellow was an important color to Monet. And he wanted to uplift people with color and his paintings. So on July the 28th, we're going to have a talk, and then afterwards we're going to sit down and have a Monet luncheon here at the AGO.
I love it. And speaking about luncheon, later on we're going to be able to try out a few things ourselves, right?
Right.
Okay.
So you can get tickets for the luncheon and the talk at ago.ca. It's on July the 28th.
Amazing. So we're going to, everybody's going to see what we're going to eat a little later on. I get to taste some of Monet's favorite foods, right?
That's right.
A little later on. We'll have more breakfast television after the break.
We'll eat like we're having lunch with Claude Monet.
Yes, I would love that. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Good Tuesday morning, back with MJ, and we're checking in with Stella because all morning, MJ, she's at the Impressionist Revolution exhibit. This is at the AGO. Have you been there?
I love this. I love the AGO. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
so
amazing.
It kind of highlights Monet and many other artists, but Monet is known for his paintings.
His lilies.
Yes.
His lilies. I went to his house in Giverny. I'm probably mispronouncing it. I actually went to the house where he lived and painted those beautiful lilies.
Here's the other thing, and you'd be interested in this as a chef. He's really into food. So this is the angle that we're working here, Stella. How is this angle? How's the AGO doing this?
Yeah, so there's going to be a whole culinary experience that happens here at the AGO because Monet, on top of being an incredible artist, was also into food. And you have mentioned that you went to his place where he dwelled, and that's where we're going to be talking about his kitchen and the things that he would cook up in his kitchen. So that's a perfect transition. And we have the most awesome guy to tell us all about it. Your energy is unmatched.
Oh,
I love it.
Are you kidding? Look at what we have here.
I know.
It's fantastic.
Okay, but we have to tie it all in. John, we need to know why we brought you in to talk about Monet, because you not only are an architect, an author, you wrote a book about Monet's dining room, but you also just love Monet.
I love Monet. It's color and light. And then I found out he loved to eat. He loved to eat, Stella.
Yeah, who doesn't? I told you. I love to eat too.
So
that's why this is the perfect segment for me, because I get to eat as well. Do I just go like this? We're going to just get into this?
That's right.
Do the little tuck? All right.
On July 28th, at the AGO, we're going to have a talk on Monet's dining room, and then we're going to sit down and have this fabulous Monet luncheon with all the kinds of dishes that Monet ate. We're going to sit down and eat like we're having lunch with Claude Monet.
I love it. And so you had a chance to go visit his dwelling where he lived, and you talked about the garden. Tell us a little bit about that in the dining room.
Well, he has a beautiful garden in Giverny, France.
Yeah.
It was #1 on my bucket list in life. And so I went there, I walked through his glorious garden, I went into his house, and then I stepped into his beautiful, yellow, glowing dining room, and I looked around and I tried to imagine him sitting there with all the Impressionist artists. He loved to entertain. He loved to he was very proud of his food.
And what you don't know is that John wore this yellow because it's the same color as the dining room as well. So let's talk about these pieces that we have in front of us.
At this wonderful, very special Monet luncheon, we're going to start with Parmentier potato soup, classic French cuisine. It's a velvety, comforting soup, a wonderful way to start a luncheon.
And here at the AGO, Chef Kevin and Chef Daniel created these special works that are Monet inspired.
All Monet dishes.
Okay.
The main course is quiche Lorraine. Quiche Lorraine, this classic French dish. It relies on a custard of eggs, cream, and bacon. And there it is. So quiche Lorraine started as a local dish, just a regional dish. But in the 1970s, it exploded as a popular brunch dish. And the world was never the same.
What's this?
This is a ratatouille. This is for people who are
I've never tried a ratatouille.
Oh, well, here we go.
This is my first time.
It's a Monet ratatouille. He grew his own vegetables. He was very proud of his kitchen garden as well as his flower garden. So that's right. How did you like that?
So good.
Isn't that nice?
And last
then
but certainly not least,
dessert is apple galette. It's apples on a pastry crust. He loved apple galette, and we're going to have it with ice cream, just the same way that Claude Monet had it. He did a painting of his galette.
That's amazing. Okay, so quickly, we're wrapping up. Just tell me about where people can go if they want to experience this luncheon.
Go to the AGO website, ago.ca. It's on July the 28th here at the AGO.
Amazing. Okay, quickly. Here, this is a clean fork. I'm going to feed you. I'm going to feed you because you need to try this too.
Oh,
okay, go.
all right.
Go. Oh, yeah.